Hello, my name is Cristina Bastida and I'm going to be presenting in the following videos how I program the robot meArm of the version UPV. This is the robot, which is now fully mounted, and before the manufacturing it was needed that all the servos were at 90 degrees. So now I'm going to show the code with which I put all the servos at 90 degrees. So this is the code for putting the servos at 90 degrees. In the first line we have the library servo.8, which includes all the functions that are going to be needed for moving the servo. And in the defines and variable declarations, we have the definition of the parameters of the motor that we are going to move. So since now we are not testing the joint limits, we are going to put as the minimum value of the angle 0 and the maximum value 180. The servo to be put is going to be connected in pin 4, and we are assuming that it has no offset. Later on we will see that we will have to change this in following programs, but for now, as this is only for the manufacturing, we are just putting these values, assuming that everything is correct. Afterwards, we have defined this data type, which is a vector which contains the data of the servo that is going to be connected. This is the pin, the offset, the minimum position, and the maximum position. So with this, we can define that the servo that is connected will be connected in this pin, which is pin 4, has this offset, which is 0. The minimum position that can be reached is 0 degrees, and the maximum position is 180. Now, in the function implementation, here, we will see these two functions, write servo and detach servo. In write servo, we are passing the name of the servo and the angle at which we want to put the servo. So first of all, this angle must be constrained between the minimum position and the maximum position, which are defined here. With this, we will avoid some errors, and afterwards, we will see that this makes the joints to stay in some defined limits. With this, now we have to attach the servo. That means that it will be controlled, and we pass the value of the angle. In the function detach servo, we only have that the servo is detached from the pin, and that means that the microcontroller is no longer controlling this servo, and instead we can move it with our hands, although it is not really advisable to do this because we can break the motors. So with these two functions, we go now to the code. First we have the setup, which runs only once, and here we put that the servo 4, which is the one that has been defined, moves to the 90 degrees. Afterwards we have a delay of 1 second, so that we ensure that the motor has reached the position of 90 degrees, and finally we detach the servo so that we can move it with our hands. In this video, it has been shown that the robot has been mounted and the functions write servo and detach servo have been explained. For now, we are only controlling one servo each time, but in later videos we will see that we have to control several servos at the time.